Kia ora or hello and welcome back to my channel. If you don't know who I am, my name is Odessa and today we will be doing a part 2 of the EPIK guide to teaching in Korea slash
existing in Korea,
just being here. I did a video a couple of months ago, about a month ago. I will link it up below, with us talking about EPIK in general, but we had a few questions and I thought we could answer them in this video. But first I want to introduce you to my friends, if you don't know who they are.
I'm Jared and I'm from the UK.
I'm Beth and I'm from Australia.
And so if this is your first video of watching me and us, a little breakdown: we're currently living in Wonju, and we are EPIK teachers, English teachers, and yeah, we just wanted to answer some of the questions that we got on the previous video, so let's get started. So the first question is what to pack for moving your whole life to Korea.
Well, we fucked it.
we did. So we're gonna be real. I don't know. So we came in February. We came in the spring intake, but you technically get here still in winter. And I packed 80% winter clothing. And so did you?
Yeah, I came in November, and it was winter when I came.
Yeah.
And I went home and then came back. So I actually left some clothing in Korea, which was all winter stuff. So like Odessa, 80% winter.
80%, and had no summer clothing. And like in my head, I thought that clothing would be perfect, like transitional clothing for the summer. But we didn't know it was gonna annihilate us.
Yeah, honestly.
See, I was similar. Although I did pack a lot of summer stuff, but it wasn't Korean summer stuff. It was UK summer stuff.
Yeah. I think use your space wisely. So I paid for extra baggage at the airport for an extra. I planned that, so if you do want extra baggage, plan to have extra money saved to buy that extra baggage.
But if you're bringing an extra suitcase, just remember you're going to be carrying that around.
Yes. I wouldn't bring that many clothes. You're going to assimilate into the fashion here anyway, and you, like we have bought a fuck ton of clothing here.
We have, yeah.
To the point where you got rid of
half of my wardrobe.
Yeah, you donated it. So
one thing, the main thing that I'd say is probably an essential is toiletries.
Yeah.
Toiletries including deodorants, toothpaste, maybe a little bit of perfume that's a bit expensive from back home that you really use a lot.
And also like with toothpaste, it's not minty enough.
I was literally gonna say that. I remember before coming here, everyone was like, beware of the toothpaste, it's like not the same. Granted, I find it fine.
It tastes nice.
Yeah,
it's like that Milk Kids toothpaste. That's what it reminds me of.
What fucking toothpaste do you use?
You know, like the Milky Kids toothpaste.
Oh,
the one without like mint.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
It's like the kind of creamy looking.
Yeah, it's like tutti frutti flavor.
You know,
yeah, and deodorant because they don't.
Oh my God.
They sweat, but they don't smell. So if you're a person who
struggling,
you need to buy that heavy duty deodorant, and I would suggest
a year's worth.
Especially in summer. In summer, you're gonna be sweating a lot.
Yeah, because in your head you're like, nah, that's gonna last.
She'll be right.
While.
No.
Nothing.
Have you seen any brands here that are actually quite good? Like Dove's here.
Dove is here.
There's Dove and there's Rexona, which is what I use.
They have the roll-on.
But it's not the same.
It's not good.
It's not the same. It's not as heavy duty. The next also is like medicine, medication.
See, I take the pill.
Oh yeah, I brought a year's supply.
I got a year's supply. I also take Zyrtec, which is an antihistamine.
Also feminine products. They're a
pads
massive pad wearer because there's that whole stigma with tampons. I'm a tampon wearer, and they're like 9,001 for like applicators, and they're like $4 in New Zealand. Yeah, so bring pictures. I brought,
as you can see behind us, Odessa brought her pictures.
Some on my fridge as well. I just, for decoration, because you get here and your house could be empty and it's just nice to...
Yes.
I completely forgot to bring pictures and it feels quite like I'm missing that nostalgia of home a little bit.
It also can help with homesickness.
Ah, yeah.
If you are a little bit homesick.
Talking about homesickness, I think bringing your favorite snacks from home. So like, I regret not bringing like, so many things. Like Shapes, Whittaker's chocolate, Marmite, salt and vinegar chips,
Vegemite, crisps. Yeah. Just because also the snacks here are not good. They're not salty.
No.
I'd like to point out there is some, for the British people out there is some British snacks that you'd be surprised to find.
Yeah.
I found a Crunchy.
Oh!
I found a Kit Kat.
Yeah.
I found
Twix.
Dairy Milk. I found a Dairy Milk.
Shit.
Yeah.
For males, okay, this is a tricky issue. If you're a male, you may need to bring condoms.
To be fair, if you're female, you can also bring condoms.
Yes,
Because of the stigmatism of wanting to buy them here, it's a bit uncomfortable, especially as a foreigner.
You do get judged.
It can be quite judging. So, obviously, not everyone comes here for that kind of intimacy, and I appreciate that. Neither did I, and neither am I, Mum. But the sizing, I'm trying to say that they're not as quite as fitting.
Forgiving.
Forgiving, thank you. For Western
Penis.
Winkies. See, I personally bought them out of safety for myself. I bought them just in case anything ever did happen. So I have them available like a respectable adult.
Love that.
The next is, let's talk about orientation.
Oh yeah.
We obviously had a way different experience because it was like the start of the pandemic.
Yeah, we got here and that was when Corona was
So how did we get
kicking
to
off.
orientation?
We all had to meet at the airport.
Well, there were actually two options because I was actually going to do the other one where you could go to the orientation site yourself.
Yeah.
But you had to pay for it. Or you could do it what we did and meet at the airport and they would take us by bus. You get your name tag, you get your room, and then you meet in your number.
Yeah, because you're broken up into different groups from like what area you're going to be in.
But I got my name tag and I went straight up to my room quickly because I wanted to quickly put my phone on charge. I went up to my room, I came back down and everyone had left. So try and keep your eye on what's going on because they were giving a tour of the whole venue and I missed the whole thing.
I would say our orientation was interesting because they weren't ready for
They were ready to deal with
handling Corona quarantining. So we got there and about a couple of days into it, we were in total lockdown. Like we weren't allowed or supposed to leave the hotel.
What we're forgetting is that we weren't at the original orientation.
We weren't as well.
We were meant to be in a university
in Seoul, but we got moved to Suwon.
Yes, but we were lucky. We got a very swanky hotel, whereas the other group,
which was the Seoul group,
got this dorm. A dorm.
It was like a
building.
teaching facility with dorms, and it was cold and sad.
We were super lucky. Our hotel was really
nice, but we still got cabin fever because we weren't allowed to leave. All of our things that we were meant to do in orientation, which is like the going to Seoul and going to the temples and stuff, that got all cancelled. And we weren't allowed to leave, so we literally had nothing to do and like scraping up things to do for us to not get bored, but like yeah, it was a bit yikes. But me and my friends from orientation, we left. Like we went around Suwon and we like got barbecue and stuff during the weekend.
I think like you said, we were getting a lot of cabin fever and I left pretty much immediately.
If the situation doesn't settle, there is a good chance that this could happen again next year for the spring intake, but they should be prepared by then. Yeah, during orientation we had classes.
They were like lectures.
Oh god.
Yeah, it was. They gave us a bag of goodies, which had a water bottle, a pen, and our little booklet. The book pretty much contained all of our lectures. It kind of had our plan of what we were doing for the week. Yeah. Things changed a little bit because like we said, we were meant to have like a cultural experience, but that got cancelled.
Korean lessons. We didn't even get Korean lessons.
Yeah. Like other things we had lectures on was like Korean, like personalities is what was it? Like,
yeah.
Just like how they kind of interact with people.
Skinship. Nunchi, all that shit.
Just like if you're in the inner circle, you're in the circle. But if you're not, then you're not. What else do we have lectures on?
There was lots of personal experiences from teachers that were already out there doing teaching, like storytelling, other kind of things that we could apply when we're actually teaching, which were actually really useful.
Yeah, there was a lot of lectures on how to teach, and like in my previous video we talked about how they set you up for certain things and it didn't really happen.
Yeah.
Like co-teaching and all that.
Oh my gosh, yes. We also did lesson planning classes.
Yeah, lesson planning classes.
Which led to, on the final day, was it the final day?
Yeah.
We all did a presentation.
Mock teaching lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we all had to come up with a lesson plan, and in our partners, which isn't your roommate, by the way, it's someone else who's in your group.
And
Like
this is the thing, don't build yourself up to be scared about this. Not everyone did well, but it
doesn't go against
No,
you.
it
It's just practice.
Let's go on. So yeah, that's our experiences with orientation. Are we
Oh,
finished
and then
getting
after orientation, they bust you.
bus to your location?
Pick out.
But that's orientation, right? Food was A+, but that was just because we had the hotel.
Hotel stuff.
So I'm not sure what food was like in the other place.
Well, we
But
had-
going on into like money, like travel insurance. We'll do a hard and fast.
Don't buy travel insurance.
Yeah, so I bought 2 months. So the 2 months I wasn't covered by EPIK. I bought travel insurance.
Which is smart. Do that.
Do that.
So I had a surprise from my father. Hello, Dad. And he decided to pay for a year's worth of travel insurance, which I do not need.
Because you get covered.
You're completely covered here.
If you're a bit worried, obviously, about if you think you're not going to last out, which I think you really need to cover before you come here.
Yeah.
But then maybe if you're accident prone in general,
Maybe you get a little bit of higher coverage.
Yeah.
But you're very well covered here.
Recruiters might give you the option.
Yeah.
There you go.
Words.
To
Buy into insurance, I guess.
yeah,
That's what it
from
would be.
like I know Corvia does it, but it's
But
like
be
an extra
careful.
package.
Look into obviously
Look into what you're covered
what it covers
for.
and what you are covered for, because you don't want to be paying out this money, because you're going to be paying out a lot of money anyway to get everything ready,
Yeah.
to get everything to come here.
Yeah.
You don't want to pay that
You don't need to
unnecessary
pay
money.
extra money for things that are unnecessary.
Sign up for your embassy. So safetravel.com, you sign up to the embassy that's in the country you're moving to, and then you get emails about what's happening in Korea. So I got all the updates on COVID and like flights and stuff like that. So for safety wise and like earthquakes, typhoons, everything, they send you emails. We're talking about ARC or ARC cards, which is literally your lifeline.
Or your
Technically,
alien card.
Your alien registration card. So what happens is you go to immigration once you leave your orientation, and you sign up for this.
Specifically there.
Because without that you cannot get banking, you cannot get Wi-Fi, you cannot get phone. So it's very important. And keep in mind it can take up to 3 weeks to a month to 2 months, depending on where you are in Korea, to receive it in the mail. So notes. What I did was I got a travel sim.
Yes.
Korean sim, yeah. So I brought it from the airport, and you can choose either 7, 14 a month, and I got like unlimited gigs, and that saved me from not dying of being in quarantine for a week.
Again, do your research.
Yeah, so that's really important if you want Wi-Fi, because there's a chance you might not have Wi-Fi in your apartment, and you might not have it for a month.
I found on We Fancy, they were talking about there's a foreigner sim that you can get, which is different to the ones that you buy in the airport. So you have to go into just any phone branch there everywhere and bring your passport with you, and just, well, generally if you're in Seoul they can speak a little bit of English, so you can say I just want a foreigner SIM card. And that was, I think it was a bit expensive, but it was like, I think I paid 50,000 won.
That's still not bad.
And I got 5 gig of data or something.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's not enough.
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
I think I had a similar one, and
Yeah, it's
mine
expensive.
did not last me 2 days.
No, but it does. The SIM card lasts itself for 3 months, so it's meant to last your visa.
Yeah, well, I will link all of the things you've mentioned down below if it's going to be helpful for you guys. Banking. So, I think I went to the bank like 5 times that week, like over 2 weeks, just because I needed something specific, or I needed to set up to send money back home, and it's a pain in the ass. With recruiters, they might
entice you
to use their package. They'll set you up with the bank and stuff, but schools in different places of Korea might want you in a specific bank, so we're all NH.
So regionally, your school may ask you to go to a different bank. So again, if you want to put the money out, not stopping you, but sometimes recruiters might want you to do this just so they have money to fund sponsors and other stuff.
Yeah. Also with cards, if you get a credit card, you can use it for T-Money. So T-Money is the card you use for metro and buses, and so you use yours, right?
I do, and I didn't even realise that it was T-Money until I accidentally used it on the bus instead of my T-Money card. I was like, oh, it works.
Yeah, so you can also get like a credit card T-Money that will just use your money, which is sick. So if you want to transfer money back home, I have bills back in New Zealand, so I got that set up through my bank, but you don't get as much money, so the conversion rate is not as good. So for New Zealanders specifically, I use Wire Bali, but TransferWise
were pretty decent for the UK.
and Centbee is also good for Australian.
I've not transferred.
You
money
haven't
back, I'm too
transferred?
afraid.
Yeah,
a lot of
so
people have seen you Centbee.
Centbee is really good for Australian. Wire Bali is really good for New Zealand, and then
Well, I use TransferWise,
Yeah.
but I'd recommend Centbee
Centbee as well.
because I only use TransferWise to transfer money to me here.
It's a pain in the ass, I'm not gonna lie, but once you get it set up, it's really easy. So phone contracts. So the normal thing is 2 years is the very minimum, but with foreigners, they will allow you to do a 1-year contract. It just costs more.
Same with internet.
Same with internet, yeah. But you can do bundle deals. I did a bundle deal where I got Wi-Fi and then I somehow got discounts. So a tip, get your phone and Wi-Fi together.
Yes.
My bill for Wi-Fi and my phone is 93,000 won.
But my phone and internet is about 60 each.
Yeah.
So it's about 120.
That's if you go more separate.
Yeah.
I've never
Still
been a
not
clever
taxable.
man of trying to sort out payments of these kind of things. So my phone bill sort of currently comes out about 120 to 140,000.
Because
just your phone bill.
he bought a phone.
I forgot, yes. Yeah.
That's why. So his is more expensive is because he got a brand new phone here. So he got the latest Samsung, and so he's on like a contract. Oh, and then maintenance fees. So you get your maintenance fee around the mid each month.
We get I get mine on the 12th, 13th.
Yeah. But they're nothing. They're literally so freaking cheap. Even the most expensive, which is hers, is still very cheap. So my
Yours
cooking
is so
bill
cheap.
is like $4.
Your gas bill.
My gas bill's like $4 or $5.
Yeah, the people from the UK, it's utilities and gas.
There we go. And then for my water and electricity, is because I've been using the aircon, is $30. So
It's probably like £22-ish, around that mark.
yeah,
See, my bills are
it's a little bit more expensive.
A little bit more when I was cooking, which I don't do that anymore. My gas bills were like 20,000 won, and then my electricity bills were about 50,000 won. I get a gas
Mine's
bill.
about 30,000.
Yeah, so ours is around the same.
And I leave my aircon on all the time.
Yeah,
'cause I
same.
just lose my mind.
My frugal self and my mother in my ear being like, turn off all your lights, turn off all your aircon, but like,
I can't.
not over here you don't
That's
really
my
have to
point.
worry about it because it doesn't cost that much. So there's different banks and you just transfer the money to the bank you're part of.
It's the same thing
So
like with
easy.
the school thing. So each company will have a bank account in
Yeah,
each different bank, and you send it to your bank, so it's faster to transfer.
So sick. And the last is vaccinations. So when you look, like I looked at what shots I should take, and there's like a whole list of like what shots you could take, but they're not, you don't have to take them. So you got shots, I
Shot,
didn't.
shot.
Yeah, I just got told to save my money and get them here because I've got insurance.
To be fair, I had Australian health insurance, and I also had Medicare, so mine was so cheap.
Yeah.
They barely cost anything. In
Yeah.
fact, I went with the more expensive version, so I'd only have to get one shot.
Yeah, nah, mine was gonna cost a couple of $100 per shot. Yours is literally $100
Mine
for all
was
shots.
$100 for
Yeah.
all of it.
So I had already done like the tetanus shots. There was two in particular that I
Yeah.
think were kind of on the fence. Okay, we don't have that in the actual NHS or on that scheme. You have to go private to order it in. But when I talked about it with my GP, he said it was going to come to around £180 to
Yeah,
buy
so
them,
it's
and
kinda
this
like-
is just for two.
That's like 300 Australian.
Yeah.
So do your research, see what you think would be good for you. My doctor was literally so chill. She's like, yeah, you don't need them. You're not living in a little hut somewhere in the
You had
mountains.
to order your vaccine.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
I literally went downstairs to the pharmacy, was like, I need these, and they literally gave them to me, and then I went back upstairs.
Now we had to get them specially shipped if we want them.
Oof.
Even same with the flu shot. If I wanted a flu shot, because it wasn't normal to get like casual flu shots.
Really?
Especially with out of
You
season.
can go-
Out of season.
Because I got my flu
In winter.
shot before
What
I
the
came.
fuck is up with your countries?
So I think we covered everything.
I hope.
I hope. But again, if you have any more
Give me a bit.
questions, comment down below. We can happily answer it in the comments because obviously we go on tangents and we forget things. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video.
Boy,
Check out
did
our
we.
other videos. I have a lot of vlogs of us together.